We want to turn now to Senator Tim Kaine, Hillary Clinton's running mate. Senator, good morning. Good to see you.
Hey, good to be with you guys. Thanks.
Let me ask you this. If you were a millennial and you were watching last night and perhaps you've been toying with the idea of voting for a third-party candidate because you want some sort of change to be brought into the process, did Hillary Clinton say anything last night that you think would sway them in her direction?
Well, yeah, Matt, a couple of things. First, she laid out a pretty detailed plan about how we're going to grow the economy, including significant support for education and bringing down college costs. And secondly, she drew a clear distinction between herself and Donald Trump on a fundamental issue with millennials, which is she accepts climate science and believes we need to do something about climate change. And she pointed out that Donald Trump believes climate science is a hoax. He tried to deny that he has said that, but he said it over and over again. And the millennials I know, this is a fundamental litmus test for them. They want to know what you're going to do to deal with climate issues on the planet. So in a couple of these very important substantive issues with millennials, she drew a good distinction.
Senator, as we just discussed, she was asked about the emails. She tried to dispatch with that question rather quickly. But Donald Trump did point out correctly that several of her staffers were given Fifth Amendment immunity against criminal prosecution as part of this investigation. She didn't take it on. She didn't explain it. Can you explain that?
You know, I thought that there was a pair of trust issues that were put on the table for each of them. The email question was hers to answer, and she did. She just looked right in the camera and said, I made a mistake, and I apologize for it, and I take responsibility. There's been an FBI investigation, and they've determined nothing more needs to be done.
But on that immunity issue
for Donald, well, the trust issue for Donald Trump was the birther issue. He wouldn't apologize. His explanation of why he did it made no sense, why he persisted in it for 5 years. So you got to see a trust issue put before each. One candidate said, I made a mistake, I've learned, and I'm sorry. And one refused to apologize, refused to take responsibility. And I thought that contrast was very sharp.
Senator, both you and Secretary Clinton have, over the course of the last quite long period of time, said that you don't believe Donald Trump has the temperament to be president and commander-in-chief. Talk to me about his temperament last night. What did you see that either bolsters your claim or shakes it?
You know, I don't think he was prepared. So in terms of the specifics, he offered very few specifics on any policy issue. He did attack, that's true. But in terms of policy, he didn't offer specifics with the exception of his big tax plan, which is huge cuts for folks at the top. So he didn't show a command of specifics. He didn't answer basic questions like questions about his tax return. And he showed that he was easily rattled. Probably, I thought, Hillary's best moment was when Donald Trump got challenged about comments that he's made about her looks, that she doesn't look presidential. He tried to change that into, no, I was talking about her stamina. And Hillary said, you go to 120 countries and you sit before a congressional hearing for 11 hours and then talk to me about stamina.
Right.
And in the split screen I was watching at that moment, she looked like she was ready for another 11 hours of debate, and he looked like he had run out of gas and was leaning up against the ropes. That showed kind of a temperament and a preparedness issue, and I think really worked to Hillary's advantage.
All right, Senator, we appreciate you being with us after a long night. Thank you very much.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.